everyone. This is Adam and Kat.
That's right.
And we are with Glowing in Love. This is our podcast. We don't have a designated time when we do our podcast. It's only when we feel inspired to bring you some very valid, important information.
It's like when the spirit kicks you in the rear end and says you got to do it.
Exactly. And today's show is going to be about Pluto in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn went into effect April 19th, 2023. And a lot of people are saying Pluto went into Aquarius, which is incorrect. As far as 13 sign is concerned, we follow the 13 sign astrology here. And more power to you, 12 signers. But according to 13 sign, which is following the accuracy of the astronomy and the stars, we know that Pluto went into Capricorn. There have been some things in between, but it's a 18 to 19 year period, which is going to affect us hugely as a planet, as a consciousness, collective consciousness, as, the governments are going to change. Like, there's just so much in store, and Adam's going to go more into detail about that. But, it's a powerful time, and we're going to see basically this is a time period where the last time we had a great revolution, American Revolution, this is like the same placement that happened back then. So we're in that same simulacrum time period where these massive changes are taking place. And I'm going to let Adam get into it.
Yes. Over 248 years ago, which was April 19th, 1775, that was the idea of the revolution coming to fruition. And it lasted about 18 years, right? So basically it was from 1775 to 1783, right? We're going to get into that even more. But what I want to share with you right now is the animal that you can call upon to walk with you during this revolution. And that's the badger. The badger represents assertiveness. Notice how I said assertiveness and not aggression. So the badger knows what it wants and it goes for what it wants, but it doesn't do it like walk over anyone or be a narcissist or anything like that. It's more assertive and say, I'm going to stand my ground. I'm going to set my boundaries. I'm going to say what I need to say. And if I need to say no, I'm not going to be afraid to say no. And if I need to say yes, I'm not going to be afraid to say yes, right? So that's the badger. And then the path that you would want to focus on is the giveaway ceremony. And it's very fitting because the giveaway ceremony is all about releasing what no longer serves us. And this Pluto in Capricorn in the second house, and this is going to happen again, Pluto's coming back into Capricorn Wednesday, November 20th, is going to be devoted to money. So we'll get into that as well. And then for the last message before I get into my little spiel, illuminate the shadow. So think about this as well during this 18-year period, right? That's been going on for quite some time since 2023, all the way to 2041. Illuminate the shadow. Focus on a solution. So apply these balanced characteristics to areas in your life where you're going to learn to integrate your shadow. And it could utilize these energies such as leadership, communication, relationships, employment, self-talk with your spirit. Once you grow your understanding of your unique personality, you can begin to realign your life to nurture and support your goals and personal interest. So if any of you out there like certain crystals or stones, one that would be called to this to help with this whole process is the golden sheen obsidian. So I would say obsidian would be definitely something because it's able to take and absorb all that negativity and everything. So obsidian is very good. Angel here would be the Archangel Barakiel. It's problem solving and finding solutions. And the affirmation that you'd want to continuously say throughout this process: I effortlessly create peaceful solutions with my personality. So there's a lot going on here with the Pluto and Capricorn.
And before we go into even deeper, I just want to say, stay tuned till the end, guys, because I have pulled some cards here for the collective regarding the next 19 year period, starting with Pluto and Capricorn when we went into it, 2023. What is the theme? What is the energies? And the other thing I want to share real quick is I had a dream last night where I was being shown, the message I felt like I woke up with was that we might not be here for the new earth. This might be something for the children of the future. Like, the 3-year-olds who are roaming around the planet right now. But know that the future is bright, guys. I mean, I've had visions of the future. I've downloaded movies about like possible movies or books that I'm meant to write about it. But ultimately, I want to share that the future is bright, guys. And we are simply bringing the architecture of it. We're bringing the blueprint from it or from the universe for the future. And we're meant to bring it. This is our legacy. We're meant to bring it to the children of the earth. We're meant to give them this information. I mean, of course, they're going to have their own downloads and stuff. But ultimately, we as the adults are meant to bring the future to the children, like lay that foundation for them. So, for example, we're meant to have healthy food in the future. Well, if you're a parent, your role is to teach them about healthy food, healthy eating, things like that, spirituality, meditation, yoga, whatever it is that you want to teach your children. This is a time to do that because that is setting the stage for the future of humanity. Okay, I'm going to give it back to Adam.
Most definitely. Thank you, Kat. Yes, so
Yes.
On April 19th, 2023, Pluto went into Capricorn in the second house, and at that time, it was directed towards earning ability. And it was tied to the solar eclipse that happened in Aries in the fifth house, which was devoted to the children. So, earning ability and children is the theme around that, so to speak, because that's what's going on with this revolution. It's a worldwide, global revolution, right? So Pluto in Capricorn in the second house comes back once again on Wednesday, November 20th, which is literally in, 5 days from now or something? If I can count my days right. Today is Saturday the 16th. 4 days. Well, 5 if you count today, right? So be looking forward to that. Wednesday, November 20th, when Pluto gets back into Capricorn, right? And this is sidereal astrology, the layout of the stars, the astronomy, right? Brings transformative and revolutionary energy to themes of money, resources, values, power structures. Capricorn, in the sign of discipline, structure, and authority, combines with Pluto's relentless force for transformation, regeneration, and uncovering hidden truths. And you can see it happening right now. Like, you don't even have to be psychic or anything or use your intuition. You just open your eyes and you can see the transformation is happening constantly. So in the second house, this energy directly influences personal and collective finances, how wealth is distributed, and our core values around security and material resources. Pluto moved into Capricorn, as I mentioned, April 19th, 2023, and it will remain there up until April 11th, 2041. And you got to take into account that the retrograde happened, right? So it retrograded back into Sagittarius, but it's going back into Capricorn because it's direct again, and it's directing its path into Capricorn, right? Making it a pivotal period for humanity. The whole collective, I mean, this is so freaking huge, right? This extended transit aligns with the cycles of systemic overhaul, much like when Pluto was last in Capricorn, as I mentioned, during the American Revolutionary War, 1775 to 1783. Just as that era was marked by rebellion against oppressive authority and a push for a new societal order. This period could catalyze profound, we're talking deep, deep levels, global shifts. So these historical ties, we're just going to get into a little bit of the history. When Pluto was last in Capricorn, the world witnessed the birth of new nations, revolutions against monarchies, and the restructuring of economic and governance systems. So we're seeing that happening now, right? And the United States, this led to the Revolutionary War, where colonists challenged British authority, taxation systems, and economic control. The struggle centered around reclaiming autonomy and redistributing power, a theme that mirrors what Pluto and Capricorn is stirring again now. In today's context, this revolution may not manifest as wars, but as a structural revolutions in how power and resources are allocated. Expect profound changes in how wealth is distributed, who holds the financial power, and how governments operate. So we're seeing this transformation happening, right?
Yeah.
And it's all about finances, it's all about structure, it's all about education, it's all about banking, it's all about government, authority. So banking and money systems, let's see what's going on here. Pluto in the second house demands a deep transformation of monetary systems. Centralized banking systems, fiat currencies, and global financial institutions may face scrutiny. Aren't they? I mean, you can't even make it up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Collapse or significant reform. Cryptocurrencies, blockchain technologies, decentralized finance are likely to rise as people seek alternatives to traditional financial structures. So the people, they're investing in the cryptocurrencies because they feel that these cryptocurrencies are giving them privacy to their own finances and, you know, no more of that taxation and all that craziness, right? Changes. Digital currencies could replace traditional money systems, and the gap between wealth and poverty could widen before a more equitable system emerges. Global debt crises may force governments to rethink monetary policies. So that's with the banking and money systems. Now we're going into government and authority. Bear with me here. Capricorn's association with authority means governments will undergo major upheavals. We're talking just up and gone, right? Corruption, inefficiency, and outdated systems will likely come to light. And you can see more and more people are talking about it, right? They mentioned all the ABC soups, all those different systems and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And all those other ones, FEMA.
Yeah, everyone's being called out right now.
Yeah, they're all being called out, right?
Yeah.
Because the people are demanding the greater accountability and fairness from their leaders.
Yeah.
So you can see this is happening.
The pressure's on.
Yeah, and there could be widespread reform or dissolution from these traditional political systems, like decentralized governance models, such as community-driven decision-making could gain more traction. So people are getting more in like a unity consciousness to where they're going to start having their own local communities and saying, hey, let's do this because obviously the government's not serving us one way or the other, whether it's federal or state. Now communities are rising up, right? And then we go into education systems. When Pluto and Capricorn outdated the educational models that prioritized rigid hierarchies, standardized testing may crumble. A shift toward more equitable, creative, and skill-based learning methods is possible. Online education, holistic learning models, access to global information may replace the traditional classrooms. And you can see that more and more people are deciding to work from home, stay at home, learn from home, all this stuff. You don't have to go to the traditional classrooms. Education could become more individualized, which is pretty cool because then like you could take like some kind of a survey or a test and be like, what are you very passionate about? And you just learn about what you're passionate about instead of boring math or science or something.
I feel like it's like I think Montessori methods.
Yeah, Montessori school for everyone, not just for private.
Well, maybe not that label per se, but
no, but it's like it's more individualized. So like your education is going to be based on your own passions, your own desires, right? Like you're going to be passionate for your education and not like, oh, not this shit again. You know, every year you go into the same stuff. Like it's
well, the school systems
indoctrination and whatnot.
They're designed almost like prisons, the current school system.
Yeah, the buses and the school buildings and everything. You put them right next to each other. You can't really tell the difference, right? So, as I mentioned, education could become more individualized and tied to evolving societal needs. And that's the key. Evolving. The only thing that creates evolution is change. So you got to embrace that change, just like you got to embrace your shadow. So here we go here. Building structures and architecture. Capricorn rules the physical structure, so construction and architecture will be influenced by Pluto's transformative energy. Sustainability will likely take center stage as the planet forces a reckoning with climate change and resource depletion. So these changes could be green buildings, eco-friendly designs, self-sustaining communities may become the norm. Traditional urban environments could be replaced by smart cities or decentralized living spaces. Now, I'm not saying I'm for this or anything. I'm just saying this is the structure, like Pluto and Capricorn, the transformation's happening. You have your own ideas, thoughts, desires, and dreams. Make those happen, because this is the time. This is the revolution, right? We have the opportunity to make the change. As Maya Angelou said, be the change you want to see in the world, right?
And if I could say one thing real quick, the smart city thing kind of scares me, I'll be honest with you, because like it's from a place of, you know, the what is it? The WFO or whatever they're called.
WEF.
That one. Yeah. WEF. You know, the Klaus Schwab guy, you know, he's like smart cities and everyone's going to be crammed. And to me, what the visions, at least that I've been shown, is that the smart cities that spirit wants for all of us is not necessarily the control mechanism, like you have your social identity score, whatever it's called, social credit score. It's more like we're going to be living in an age of light where it's quantum, where things are connected to your spirituality and your spiritual quotient versus your ability to pay your bills or not. Like, it has nothing to do with that. It's complete freedom from any kind of financial slavery. And that's the thing, is humanity is caught up in financial slavery. And this is where the Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn is about breaking all that down. So I just interjected for a minute there, because if you hear smart cities from the dark elitist or whatever, just think that their plan, they already know what's coming. They know we're going into the age of light, but they want to control that and they can't.
They're trying to bank on it, yeah.
Exactly.
So it's up to us to visualize the more positive outcome, to jump on the higher timeline. Like we're getting supported by all of these solar flares and these coronal mass ejections that are happening. You can see that it is upgrading our DNA, our dormant DNA, our junk DNA. Like we have naturally 12 strands of DNA, and we need that DNA to awaken. So now is the time of the awakening. Okay. Mm-hmm. So
amen to that. Let me
wait,
let's do a gong on that one.
Woo! Yeah. All right. So here we go. Authority and power dynamics. I mean, it gets better. Look at this. Pluto in Capricorn challenges the old guard and those who hold traditional power. Hierarchical systems, patriarchal structures, and large corporations may either collapse or transform radically. Like they either got to get on board or ship out, shape in or ship out, right? They got to
get with the program.
They got to get with the programs. They cannot continue with their old traditional ways, right? Empowerment of the individual, grassroots movements, new forms of leadership that prioritize inclusivity and collaboration could emerge. So we're stepping into win-win situations where we're collaborating with whoever we choose to collaborate with. It's not a us versus them anymore. It's we're all in this together and we're moving forward.
The we collective.
Yes, the we collective. And then here's the interesting part. Art and creativity. Can you believe it? The second house governs values, including art and aesthetics. During this transit, art could take on revolutionary role, reflecting societal upheaval and new ways of seeing the world. Remember, perception is everything. So you change your perception, you change the whole view on the world, right? Mm-hmm. So these changes could be digital art, NFTs, social conscious creations that could challenge traditional norms. Art could become a tool for activism and change, mirroring shifts in the collective values. Like, the art could create a collective shift in the consciousness. You can't even make it up. Art is a medium. If you don't know by now, art is a medium, and it is multi-dimensional, right?
Definitely.
Here we go. The way we look at money and value. Pluto forces humanity to reconsider what is truly valuable. People may shift their focus from material wealth to more intangible assets like time, because that's really freaking valuable, freedom, and connections. That's what we are. We are tactile humans. We're spirits having this human experience, and it's all about connection. And it's your time and your energy, your talents, your skills. So what does this mean, Adam? Oh, I'll tell you. This could lead to the rejection of consumerism and a rise in minimalism or resource-sharing economies. And this could mean barter systems, cooperative models. Local economies may gain traction because they're like, oh man, bartering. Why did we move away from it?
You had a dream.
I actually had a dream once.
Yeah.
This girl, she came to me and gave me a box, and inside the box was an inscription that said barter. You can't even make it up.
And
right?
bartering is a fun thing to do.
Bartering is a fun thing to do for sure, because what do you value and what do they value? Are you willing to make that trade?
Yeah.
It's a form of an energy exchange, right? So the definition of wealth could change dramatically, and it may expand beyond money to include knowledge. Oh, there's a lot of people out there, they might not have the finances, but they sure have the freaking knowledge, right? Knowledge, experience, and relationships.
Yeah.
And with knowledge and experience becomes the wisdom. So the wise one might be the rich one as the transformation occurs.
I almost feel like there's a shift in what we value.
Exactly.
Within all of this.
Yes, that is what it is. Like, it's not tangible things anymore. It's intangible things too. And are you the kind of person that's the team player, or are you the lone wolf? You know, because that's another thing. Are you willing to collaborate with other people, or do you just want to go at it alone, right? Because in the great scheme of it all, this transformation that's happening is not going to serve the ones that are all for self. It's going to serve the ones that are for others.
Yeah.
It's the we collective. It's the we consciousness.
Yeah.
Right? The connection to the world revolution. Pluto's transit through Capricorn marks a global restructuring of power. You can't even make it up. Just as it did in the late 1700s. The difference now is that the revolution is happening on a larger scale with technological advancements amplifying its reach. So expect to see grassroots movements demanding economic and social justice. You're seeing it now. I mean, if you're not, wake up, because it's there.
I feel like we're at the very beginning of all that.
Yes,
right?
yes. We're going to get into that too. Disruptions to global hierarchies, including the decline of empires and superpowers. Oh, the revolution is amazing. A push for planetary sustainability as collective survival takes precedence over individual gain. Wow, I just said that. This transit reflects a collective reckoning with how we've built societies, economies, and governments. It's a time to tear down the systems that don't serve us anymore and rebuild them to serve humanity more equitably.
I think the indigos are the ones that are here to tear down the system, you know. I mean, it's possible that Elon Musk is an indigo. It's possible that, you know, a lot of these people that, I mean, I honestly don't trust anyone in political power or whatever, but I'm open to seeing the bigger picture and seeing how the divine could be working through many people in power, even if they're not even aware that they're being used in that kind of way to manifest this future. Because, you know, I used to kind of be afraid of who was in power and stuff, but I'm not anymore, because I know that there is a bigger picture here. And it doesn't matter who truly is in power. All I know is that whatever is corrupt will be cleaned away, and the new energies are going to be coming through the people, whether they like it or not. You know, whoever wants to be in power, they're going to have to surrender to the higher timeline, you know?
Exactly. So look, the fact that Pluto is in Capricorn and the revolution has been going on since, you know, April 19th, 2023, and it continues all the way to literally April 10th, 2041, because April 11th, it goes into Aquarius. So we're going to see a lot of changes happening between now and 2041, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to kind of give you an idea here what to expect moving forward from 2023 to 2041. The next 18 years about, you know, we're not giving like a total grand estimate. We're just saying about 18 years will likely be marked by tension, growth, and significant breakthroughs. Early stages from 2023 to 2026. And comment down below if you're really seeing this, because we're literally in the year 2024 now, right?
Yeah.
Growing awareness of systemic flaws in banking, governance, and resource management. Discontent may begin to rise. More and more people are getting really angry. They're like, what is going on? Why are these banks like not giving me my money? I put the money in the bank. Why can't I have the money?
It's called thievery.
Yeah, so those are the early stages. And then in the middle period, 27 to 34, so 2027 to 2034, heightened revolutionary activity, both peaceful and disruptive. This may include financial crises, political upheavals, and global conflicts around resources. And you can see that right now. I mean, if you're really paying attention, you can see what's going on with lithium, quartz, and oil, all those resources, and so many more, you know, solar energy, wind energy, all these different resources happening right now.
Yeah.
And then in the later stages, 2035 to 2041, is the rebuilding phase. As old structures collapse, new systems will solidify, focusing on sustainability, inclusivity, and balance. And balance is the best, because that is what we want. Even to integrate your own shadow is going to create balance in your life. You can no longer avoid what's been hidden because it's coming up to the surface. And if you watched my video on the power of the number 13 and Ophiuchus, you will know it's an alchemical process that's happening.
And we'll probably put that link down below.
Yeah, we could put the link down below too. But basically, if you're a true alchemist, you know that the element, to get the pure element, you gotta let the gold or silver melt. And once it melts, all of the dross comes to the surface. That's all the impurities.
So would you say
you wipe them out. You just wipe the impurities out, and then you get the pure element.
So would you say that Capricorn and Pluto is a alchemical moment here?
Oh, without a doubt, for sure.
And why is that?
Because it's going for the authorities. It's going for government, education, building structures, art. So all these museums and stuff.
And what does Pluto represent?
It represents total transformation. So wherever Pluto is, there is going to be major changes.
I'm so excited.
Oh.
This is like the moment that I feel like I'm here on the planet for.
Like some of us could actually be a reincarnation from the Revolutionary War. You know what I mean? Like if you're into that, you believe in past lives and all that good stuff. So here we go. Some advice for everyone out there. Navigating Pluto at Capricorn in the second house. Be adaptable.
Which is the earning ability.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Earning ability, personal values, money. It's all there in the second house.
Right.
So be adaptable. Old systems will change no matter what. So you must learn to be adaptable.
Yeah.
Embrace the new technologies, ideas, and ways of thinking. And these new technologies, I don't know if anyone out there has heard about it, but med beds as well. I mean, good stuff happening if you really open your eyes to the many different possibilities. Not focusing on doom and gloom, focusing on a more positive outcome, a higher timeline. Then we have here, focus on sustainability.
Yeah.
Invest what endures, what you know is not going to fall apart.
Yeah.
So invest on what endures, whether that's skills, relationships, or sustainable practices. Reevaluate your values. You know, I encourage all of you to do that. Let go of the materialism and focus on what truly enriches your life. If you heard any stories about anyone when they were about to pass on, they said their biggest regret was not spending enough time with their friends and their family because they worked themselves to the bone and they hit retirement. And by the time they hit retirement, they were so tired they couldn't figure out what to do.
Right.
Just live instead of trying to always make or earn a living. Just freaking live, right? Live from your heart.
So how does that work with the earning ability stuff with Pluto and Capricorn?
Well, we're going to get into that too.
Okay, cool.
Get involved.
Right.
Whatever you're passionate about, there are others out there because your vibe attracts your tribe. So get involved. Be a part of the grassroots movements or initiatives that align with your values. We're not saying to just get involved with some random situation. No, we're saying to get involved with what you're truly passionate about.
Right.
Because love is the higher vibration, and do what you love, get involved, be part of the movement, plan for the long term. Financial planning and resource management will be crucial as the systems evolve. So whatever you feel that is valuable, hold on to that. I mean, growing up and not having my grandparents or my parents around anymore, I found that all the stuff that they had was very valuable. So if any of you out there, you know, you have stuff from grandparents or even generations beyond, hold on to that stuff because it is valuable, right? That's something that can't be replaced.
Yeah.
So hold on to that, right? All those comics that I had when I was a kid, I'm like, man, I wish I would have kept my baseball cards, my comics, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, those things. Plan for the long term. Whatever you think is going to bring value, hold on to it for just a little bit longer.
If I can say one quick thing.
Yeah.
Because you said something about doing what you love.
For sure.
For those who were seeking love, because of course you got to be the love first within you.
Most definitely.
But when you're in that loving place within yourself, Adam and I met, like the universe brought us together because we were doing what we loved.
That's
because
right.
we were in that higher vibration. And because we were in that higher vibration, we were ready for that love. And, you know, we are twin flames and it was all destined and everything for us to come back together because we met first and then we separated and then we came back together. And that was all the universe's way of coordinating all that. But we had to be in that higher vibration. And so if you're looking for romance, love, marriage, what have you, ladies, gentlemen, be in that higher vibration of doing what you love. Like if you want to do that art piece or music or whatever, like put yourself in situations and places or whatever it is that you love, golf, whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is your vibration. Put yourself in those situations where you can literally attract the other person who loves that very thing that you love, and then you can find that common ground. That's our secret to finding each other, we found, is because we were in that higher vibration of doing what we loved. We finally surrendered, not trying to keep up with anything else, but doing what we loved, which is the readings and the crystals and the metaphysical stuff and astrology and like all this stuff that we love, art, music. We were in that vibration. So this is just kind of like a love tip to anyone who is seeking love, to do what you love, and know that if you are following this advice, you're almost guaranteed to find the love of your life. Okay, I'm going to just step away now.
Yes, thank you, Kat. So once again, in a short way of saying that, your vibe attracts your tribe. Love comes to you when you match that vibration of love by doing what you love, right? So definitely, I encourage all of you, get in touch with your inner child because it's still there. Your inner child knows what it loves. And what did you love to do as a child? Comment down below. I would really love to know what you love to do as a child.
Yeah, please. We want you guys to talk to us. We want to know who you are, what you are.
Speaking of collaborative experience, we want that. Yeah,
we want you to feel like you're part of our community. So we really want you to communicate with us through the comments, and eventually we're going to have another form of community. But in the meantime, we'd love to hear from you in the comments.
What you're going through,
and let us know. Really. Yeah, like seriously, let us know who you are, what you're interested in, what you're learning, things like that. Everything, anything on your mind. We're open.
Most definitely. And this is about mystical guidance too. So we are the mystics bringing the guidance. And to top it off, here we go. Pluto in Capricorn in the second house signals the rebirth of humanity's relationship with money, power, and security, paving the way for a more equitable and conscious, keyword, conscious future.
Nice.
It's up to us to create our future the way we choose to. We have all the knowledge, all the wisdom, all the skills, all the talents. We come together and we can create a beautiful future, not just for ourselves, but for all our descendants that are on their way in as well. So we had the indigos tearing the structure down because it didn't serve them anymore. Then we had the crystal children coming, and the crystal scouts that were making way for the crystal children. The ones, the autistics are the mystics. Yes, get the phrase out, get it out real loud and proud. Autistics are the mystics. The crystal children, they know. And then after the crystal children come the rainbow children. These rainbow children, they're the game changers because these rainbow children are more than likely the ascended masters that decided to come back in again and be like, we're ready for the new earth and we're just waiting for it.
I think Dolores Cannon also talks about the 3 waves of volunteers.
Yes, Dolores Cannon did talk about the 3 waves of volunteers. So the first wave of volunteers is actually the generation before us. They're the way showers. But a lot of them are ready to leave because they've done their volunteer work and they want to pass the baton to us, the generators.
Yeah.
So we become the new wave, the first wave. And the third wave becomes the second wave. And then the fourth wave becomes the third wave. So we're the generators. And then after our generation is the millennials, which are like the technology geniuses, right? And then, of course, those would be the crystal children. And then the rainbow children are the returning ancient ones, basically, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah, definitely.
Ready for the new earth and all that good stuff. So,
thank you so much.
That is what I have to say to all of you guys about Pluto entering Capricorn in the second house. And this time, not just the earning ability, but money specifically, especially when Wednesday hits, Wednesday, November 20th, because Pluto is going into Capricorn once again. And as I mentioned, there's the retrogrades and the directs. So Pluto is direct now, leaving Sagittarius, going into Capricorn. Hasn't touched Aquarius, will not touch Aquarius until April 11th, 2041. So embrace Pluto being in Capricorn and watching the transformation happen.
So now you're piquing my curiosity. So what does that mean now with Pluto and Aquarius going in 2041? What does that mean? Because a lot of people are saying that's happening now. But what does that really mean? Give us a little sneak peek.
A little sneak peek of Pluto going into Aquarius. So when Pluto goes into Aquarius, that's going to basically be a transformation when it comes to future technologies, humanity, the we collective, friendship circles, social groups, humanitarian projects, innovative technology, introspection, non-traditional ways. So, we're going to have this whole time with Pluto in Capricorn, and then we're going Pluto in Aquarius. So it's like we never left. The revolution continues on, basically. But it's another revolution. It's a revolution on technology, non-traditional things.
So it feels like we're not on the tyranny timeline at all with all this, right?
No,
between Pluto and Capricorn.
No, because it's a transformational experience that's happening. First with the power structures, next with humanity as a whole, the collective. So I would say by the time Pluto finally does hit Aquarius, we have hit the new Earth. Wow. For sure,
I'm so excited. Adam, I'm so grateful for you for following 13 sign astrology, because to me this all makes sense as an intuitive psychic medium person. I get these visions and you clarify it with the astrology, and you're very psychic yourself too. But I just feel like the astrology really helps to give a framework, a real, you have your house and then you have the air inside of your house and your furniture and all that. I feel like astrology is the house that houses all of these energies, with the vibrations of the planets and the cycles of life and everything. And I'm so grateful that you're able to read all this and to understand all this to a level that I've seen a lot of astrologers. I've followed a lot of astrologers my almost whole life. And, I just feel like you have the ability to go so deep into this stuff more than a lot of, there's maybe a handful of astrologers that I've seen on the planet that actually can go as deep as you. But
I was born in the 8th house.
Well, yeah.
Focusing on occult involvement, so that's my personality, the sun.
You are definitely gifted. Yeah, you're definitely, no doubt, you're gifted in this stuff, and you're gifted with Ophiuchus, right? So, you have the Ophiuchian energies, the ability to see this stuff and to integrate, because you used to be a 12-sign astrologer, and you just knew something was off, and eventually.
Well, the universe, I mentioned before, it knocked one time and said, "Hey, look into this 13 sign astrology. Look into Ophiuchus." Yeah. Nah.
Yeah.
Number 2,
you rejected it.
Number 2, someone comes to me and says, "Hey, you should look into this. You're actually a Capricorn, not an Aquarius."
Yeah.
No. And then the third time, something really triggered me at that time, and I was like, okay, I really want to look at this. This is the third time it came here.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the nature of a true Capricorn, and I was like, okay, I can resonate with this more than I can an Aquarius. And that's when I decided to make that change in 2016, after the universe knocked on my door, not once, not twice, but 3 times.
And sometimes it takes the lucky number third time to
what do they say, third time's a charm? In this sense it was, because after that everything changed in my life, because in that time before all of this happened, I was thinking I was Aquarius with the moon in Capricorn, and I didn't feel like the moon was in Capricorn, because Capricorn is more like a stoic moon. Your emotions are reserved. So I felt more like Capricorn with my moon in Sagittarius, because I seek adventure. I love adventure, and I love to share the meaning of life and truth and all that good stuff too.
I just realized something else here, because you started becoming an astrologer, but you were 12 sign at 2013. You became an astrologer, but then in 2016 you started 13 sign astrology, right?
Yes.
Look at that number. That's 3 years apart. So there's that 3 there, and then you got the 3 times a chart. It's like times
3 times the charm, third times the charm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I just think it's interesting, the numerology in this all, and like how the simulacrum is all set up, and how, like, because I mean, ultimately we're in an interesting simulation, I would say, where we are in a simulation, but people are becoming more and more conscious within the simulation, because that's the whole point here, is that we want to wake up. We want to become conscious of the fact that we do live in an interesting simulation that we call Gaia or Earth or what have you. And there are multiple timelines that are happening. But I have one quick question, because this is like the message that I'm getting.
Oh, yeah.
The future is quantum.
Yes, the future is quantum, and I believe once Pluto hits Aquarius, we will understand that a lot more.
Yeah.
Because Aquarius is all about the future. And when Pluto hits Aquarius, we're going to move into some futuristic stuff.
So 2041 from now is about
18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So we're going to start hearing about quantum technologies in about 18 years.
Oh, we've been hearing about it now, because the structures,
that's true.
Education is changing. Right now, education's changing. Technology will be changing in 2041 more than anything.
Right. So I got, and this is after Mr. T won the presidency. Literally, I felt a timeline shift the day before, but when he had won, I don't know if it was that day or the day after, but I just instantly got downloaded this so-called movie or something. And I basically saw the future in this movie or book or something, but it's basically like, I'm not going to give it all, but I saw the future being quantum, especially when it came to paying for things, and it had nothing to do with like money or anything like that. It was simply an energetic read of who we are, and
the light quotient.
Well, it's something like that. Yeah. Like, I think it has something to do with like our spirituality and who we are and the value. So value is something where your spirit, you have most likely thousands and thousands of years of information, of Akashic record knowledge. I mean, I'm an Akashic record, keeper guide, and I can also see that. And maybe that's where the download came from, actually, now that I think about it.
Shout out to her for that. And if anyone wants to get an Akashic record session, hey, comment down below or come email us.
And vice versa. If Adam, if anybody wants a natal chart reading, to me, it's like a must-have, in my opinion. Adam is the man to go to for that. But
thank you.
Really quickly, you're welcome. Really quickly, the future, I felt like, now that I think about it, the Akashic records gave me that download, hey, now we're on a timeline, because perhaps we were in a different timeline before that, but when Mr. T won, and I'm not political, I sort of was in the past, but not really. But if anything, I threw it all out. I'm like, it's all bullshit. But in a way, the Great Spirit, the energies of the universe are working through these people to get us on a certain timeline. And immediately when Mr. T won, it was boom, oh my God, here's the future. We're on a new timeline. And it's almost like destiny that we're meant to be on this timeline. So whatever we did, we won, because we're on a higher timeline. I just felt it immediately. We're on a higher timeline. We're going in the right direction. The future is quantum, and it's not about just technology. Technology is just something like a hammer that you build your house with, and you don't let it rule your life. You just use it, to build your house. Quantum technology is the same way. It's not about it controlling you, it keeping track of everything you do, privacy stuff and all that. It's more about how and it's not transhumanism either. That's not what I saw. transhumanism is almost like the Dirk's way of trying to control that. It's more like a light technology that is based on your light quotient and frequency. And that's what I saw the future is. It's people being respected for the wisdom that they have and the light quotient they have. It's almost like you know, you have a light bulb that's meant to be 100 watts, but if that light bulb is only being used for 20 watts, you're only like emitting 20 watts of your own energy. If you're meant to emit 100 watts, well, what is blocking you from emitting the rest of your 80%, you know? And that's what it is that we're meant to be 100%. We're meant to emit our fullest, lightest quotient. And that's what the reward system is in the future. I saw, at least, is the reward system is that we are going to be rewarded for the better person you are, the
being the team player,
the more person, the kinder you are, being rewarded for the goodness. And there's something with the quantum technology that is linked to that, but it's not like the social credit score thing. It's something different. And I don't know exactly what it is, but all I know is that it's a kinder, more heavenly, loving technology that can read your aura, read your energy, things like that. And I'm probably going to stop there. But
yeah, I mean, amazing stuff too. And then I just want to share with you all as well. Magic has a huge part in this because Capricorn is naturally ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is actually the mystic and the sage. A lot of people probably don't tune into that, but Saturn is the old wise sage that gives the lessons to the people, and once the lessons are given, Saturn rewards them. Mm-hmm. So magic also, embrace the magic. Not the illusionary magic, the real magic. And what is magic? It's energy. And wherever your attention goes, that's where your energy flows. So wherever your attention is, that's where the magic happens.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, we're going to take a quick pause here. And we're going to, after this pause, we will come back for the Akashic psychic medium version or side of the reading here of the show. Okay, we'll be right back. Hello, everyone. We are back. Hope you had a good break. So I just want to take a moment to give 3 ohms here to the planet and to all of us. All right. Beautiful. Thank you, guys. Why do we ohm? Well, I know why I ohm. I like to ohm is because it helps get me back into my heart, get me back into my center, get me out of my brain into my heart, help me connect with the universal energies, the 432 hertz, the frequency of the universe, of love, of healing. That's why the ancients meditated on ohm, because they knew this. They knew this was the vibration. And everything is vibration. Even Tesla said, the future will be frequency and energy. How, everything, if you think about it, we're going to be moving into frequency medicine. I mean, we already are, right? But it's about becoming conscious without the harmful frequencies in the technologies. The free energy versus paid energy, it's important. It's an important topic to open up with here. For some reason, I'm going to flow with this here. But what I did was I pulled cards here, the 5-element spread. Do you want to say something?
Yes, so I just wanted to say real quick.
Okay.
Sound itself is a 7th dimensional frequency.
Oh, yeah.
And we are here during the age of light, and we're in the photon band, and that's, a higher frequency too. So Imagine the 7th dimensional frequency with all these solar flares happening.
Yeah.
In the 3rd dimensional realm. It's really just ripping apart that realm, right? So...
Yeah, tell us really quick about the gamma frequency that you were explaining to me recently.
Yes, the gamma frequency, the X frequency, basically, that creates the genetic mutations, but they're not really mutations. I would say it's your DNA awakening to your superhuman abilities. And that's where you get the X-Men from the Marvel comics, or that's where you get the characters from the DC comics. A Zulu shaman communicated with both the owners of DC and Marvel comics, and that's where they got the humans with the super abilities, or even the aliens coming and visiting the Earth, like Superman being the Kryptonian, right? Being charged by what? Our sun. So... the sun activates the codons within the DNA and awakens the special abilities. And you can see people out there, they're really focusing on their telekinetic abilities, their telepathic abilities. Mm-hmm. Some people are even being seen levitating and flying. So it's happening, guys. Awaken to the many great possibilities of the awakening.
Oh, thank you. Wow. And this is all, I'm looking at the cards right now, and this is all reflected in the cards. It's amazing. Okay, so I pulled the 5 elements, like the 5, fire and water and all that good stuff. And then I did past, present, future, super future. I'm going to go ahead and tap into the Akashic records of the earth. Okay, the whales, the dolphins. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let me see here. Just going to connect with the guides here real quick. Okay, I'm seeing the Council of Light. The Council of Light is with us. Okay, so etherically, people, as we move through this Pluto transformation in Capricorn, there might be some mental conflict coming up for people. There might be some, well, I believe this, but I'm being told this now, or, I knew this, but now I know this. It's like, well, what's going on? People are feeling kind of torn with maybe their
I would call it cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance. There is, I'm hearing now, Spirit is talking to me right now about we're moving into the age of truth. And this is where I think Adam comes in with 13 sign astrology, because it was something that he could not deny, and eventually I could not deny either. So it's almost like we have to surrender and release. The other card that came with is release. We have to release the old paradigms, and this is the connection to our higher self. Like we have.
And that was the sacred path of release too, the giveaway ceremony.
Well, hello, and I'm feeling my crown chakra tingling right now. We have to release the old in order, and look at that, number 13. The 13 is on the card of release.
And 13 is naturally the death card in traditional tarot.
Yes.
So once again, that ties to Ophiuchus and it ties to Pluto, because it's all about that transformation.
Exactly.
It's not death, it's transformation.
And mental conflict has a number 2 on it, and 2 is duality. So we have to stop seeing dualistically. Like when we did ayahuasca, I can tell you my story real quick. I could not think in a dualistic way when I was on ayahuasca. To me, it was all of it at the same time. There was no me or you. There was all of us, all one, and so, and whenever my mind tried to go into dualistic thinking, I could feel the struggle within me. I could feel my mind having its own cognitive dissonance and, basically having a struggle, a conflict within myself. So I feel like 13 is such I did not see these cards before I pull, like I literally just turned them over. I didn't even analyze them. I'm just noticing it now that, etherically speaking, from a higher self perspective, we're being called to ask to let go of the dualistic thinking, let go of the mental conflict, surrender and release to the fact that we have a paradigm that is somehow ruled, that we're moving into a paradigm that is somehow ruled by the number 13. It is somehow connected. I'm sure it goes beyond that, but I feel like 13 is huge. Even look at the way the light quotients and the light codes that are connected. Like if the man is staying in this dualistic mindset, he is closed off. He's in his ego. He's only in his own self-identity. But if he goes into the 13 release surrender mode, he is opening up to something beyond himself. Okay, he's opening up to a higher intelligence. So, I don't know. I feel like this is a powerful start to this reading, if you ask me. Now let's look at the mind. The mind as we go into this, as we're in this Pluto, this cycle of Pluto and Capricorn. Mentally, we have to connect with the earth. We have to connect with our base chakra. We have to connect with the old ancient ways and how they connected with the earth from a mental standpoint, at least. There is also going to be a new vitality as a result of that. So
that reminds me of earthing.
Yeah.
Take your shoes and socks off and hang out on the ground. And,
wow.
Yeah.
And both of the numbers on these two, because I have 2 cards per thing, 1 and 1. When you connect with the earth, you become one with the earth. And when you become one with the earth, you become vital. You become vitality.
Yes, the trees are known
yes
as the standing people.
Exactly.
And we're able to move. We're the moving people, but the trees are the standing people. Their roots go deep into the earth, and their roots, they simultaneously grow with the leaves. So what you see as above, so below.
Totally. So it's amazing. And this card, the New Vitality card, is saying that when you connect mentally, because the thing is, like, if we're not mentally, we're like connecting with the earth, for example, we're staying in our head. We're like walking heads to talking heads, we're not really grounded. And I'm guilty of this too. Trust me. And this is something I have to remind myself all the time, to ground my energy, to connect with the earth, to put my hands on the trees, things like that. Go to the park, lay down on the grass. It's hard when it's cold outside. I get it. They do have grounding pads that you can put on your bed, and you can connect with that third prong thing in the wall. Don't get electrocuted. But seriously, like, grounding is super important.
That is the grounding outlet.
Yeah. So, like, basically, there's a huge importance here of getting out of your head and getting into your body and on the earth. So we're going to move into the emotions.
Well, I just want to say one more
thing.
thing.
Go for it.
So as she's saying that, if you want to reach the higher vibration, you need to be grounded.
Yes.
Like, focus on the root chakra, like the tree's roots, as I just mentioned. The tree's roots grow and the leaves grow simultaneously.
Yeah.
So If you want to reach the higher vibration, you need to be grounded, because an electrical cord without a grounding wire will short circuit.
Yeah.
And that's what we are. We are energy.
Yeah, we're totally electrical. We have our electrical hearts and things like that. And that's, I believe, our soul lives in there. But really quick, I want to say, if you're interested in learning more about grounding, I would say check out Celtic Druidism, because they have a very strong energy. Like, they're very grounded people, the Druids and the Celtics. Like, there's one guy, Philip Carr, he's amazing. He's a Celtic Druid priest, I believe, but he is very much into like bringing that awakening. And also the Native Americans, the Native American ancestral indigenous ways, very much into the grounding. They didn't have shoes back in the day. They had maybe slippers that were made of leather. But now we have these rubber soles that constantly repel the electromagnetic frequency from the planet Earth that is supposed to give us vitality. So no wonder people are getting sick all the time, and because they're not grounded. They're not being recharged by the Earth's energies, We have a totally different... So I feel like this Pluto in Capricorn is probably going to bring us an awakening around that. The importance of mentally knowing how important it is to ground, and also etherically letting go of the old paradigms, ways of doing things. Now, moving into Pluto in Capricorn, what is this cycle bringing the collective? People are going to have to emotionally face their darkest fears, and also awaken their intuition. So they're going to have to, face their demons, basically, like a huge ayahuasca ceremony. And open up, because when you release your fears, false experiences or expectations appearing real, right? That's all that fears really are. Half of our fears don't really come true. Avoid holding a fear for 17 seconds in your mind, and you won't manifest it. And that's another thing, is that as we move into the higher frequencies, the higher, timeline of things, you got to be careful what you think and hold in your heart, because we are going to be manifesting a lot quicker. And Adam and I are very experienced in this, where we lived in Hawaii, and we spent that's how we met. We met in Hawaii, and we spent lots of time there. And I could tell, like, we were in a higher vibration. We were already on the new earth in Hawaii in some ways. And we were manifesting things very quickly over there. So the higher your light quotient is, the higher the frequency timeline you're on, things are going to manifest a lot quicker. But it's important to be connected to your intuition, go into your sixth sensory level, and let go of whatever fears you have going on. And that is for the collective. Now, from a creative standpoint, let's see here, passion and creativity, people are going to be experiencing more harmony in their creations and their passions. They might be finding love more and more, because they're going into that higher frequency within themselves. And they're also going to be feeling they are being, like, their rewards are coming, well-deserved rewards. Let's see here. So we have the number 9 and we have the number 6. Interesting. So, after some great changes in creativity and love and passion and romance, people have to go through that dark night of the soul in their hearts, clear those fears, and then go into their intuition, and then they eventually can manifest their love. And also completions, where they are receiving their reward for whatever they built up. So it's like the creative sense. This new cycle that we're going into is going to be rewarding the people a lot easier than maybe in the past. Because it's like, if you follow your heart and you go and you do the right thing for yourself, you're eventually going to be rewarded. You're eventually going to find that harmony that you're seeking. Now, moving into the earth, like the cycle of what is going to be happening. There's going to be a change in education, big time. 5, and teaching. So a lot of people are going to be waking up to There's a picture of a priestess type woman looking person with a dog next to her and some children. There's going to be a new wave of learning, of education, of fill in the blanks if you want.
Oh yeah. So
wow, these are both fives, by the way.
As we were mentioning earlier when we were talking about Pluto going into Capricorn, when I was talking about it and everything, the education is going to be more structured to the individual, what you want to learn.
Exactly.
Not about like just some random indoctrination and it doesn't serve anybody.
And it's also, I'm getting the impression that the divine feminine is going to play a huge part in the education system. As a woman, she's like, where, she has a seashell pendant and she looks like
Atlantean priestess.
She looks like an Atlantean priestess or Lemurian, or she has a rose and she's like in a temple kind of place. And it's almost like there's this like new wave of spirituality and education that are going to form. And I feel like my crown is tingling right now around this. This is going to be a huge piece because the children are the future, and whatever they're being taught today is what they're going to be manifesting tomorrow. So that's why there's such a huge struggle on the planet right now of who's in control of the education system. Weirdly enough, Mr. T mentioned that he wants to get rid of the Department of Education. So that's going to be interesting. And then the other thing is, the other card is saying financial and material changes. So this is all root chakra, number 5. Both of the cards are 5 changes. So on Earth, we're going to be experiencing 2 major changes: financial and material changes, and the education system. What we're actually learning.
That just goes to show you exactly what I was reading about.
The cards don't lie. This is crazy.
What I was explaining earlier. Yeah, exactly. Education, authority, art, structure, the political, all of it, all types of structure is going to go through some major transformation.
Yeah, this is crazy. So it's like the cards are basically saying pretty much everything you also said.
Yeah.
And
which is awesome. It's total confirmation.
It's total confirmation. And now we're going to move into the past, present, future, super future. So basically, there goes that number 13. This is the past. The foundation of what we're talking about right now with Pluto and Capricorn is number 13, transformation. I'd be curious if you would look into how Ophiuchus is playing more into this 19-18 year cycle. You know what I mean? I'd be curious. Like, that would be a cool other video, I think. How Ophiuchus is playing more of a role in all of this, in the astrology and stuff.
Ophiuchus is always there.
Well, I know, but maybe there's some kind of like transits or something going on. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so number 7, that's like my lucky number 7. Choose your battles. So right now, people are going through a major transformation. This is the foundation, really. So this is the past, but it's more like the recent past. People are having to choose their battles, I guess you could say, like choose your battles wisely. So it's a man with standing with his hands to his hips and looking at 3 big godlike symbols. And, he's having to look at himself because we're all one and we're all reflections of each other. And so there's a transformation happening on the planet as the foundational element right now with spirituality, especially. Number 7 is about spirituality. And then the number 13 is about transformation. So I feel like the foundation of all of these changes moving forward is a shift in how people want to let go of those institutions, those religions. Like, education is an institution. Financial banking is an institution. All the institutions.
Religion is an institution.
Religion is an institution. So basically, though, as the institutions start to lose power over time, financial banking, education, and religion, and of course the military industrial complex probably is going to shift too.
Yeah, that's a power structure. Yep.
Yeah, that's a
Definitely
huge
shift
piece.
there too.
Like basically everything that we see now is going to change. But especially in the card reading, it's saying that the spirituality is what the major thing that people are going through right now is the foundational elements of what they believe about, you know, morality and things like that. Like, should, you know, a 7-year-old change herself to a boy, you know, like, you know, there's all these like moral issues that are coming up for people, and it has everything to do with like the spirituality of things, you know, because everything is spiritual, but it's almost like what you value is very strongly tied to your spirit, to your spirit, right?
Yes, that's right. We are all spirits having a human experience. Exactly. Once you wake up to that consciousness, things change.
Right. We're not walking religions. We're not walking banking institutions, or we're actually spirits having a human experience. So this is like the deepest foundation of the change. Be the change you want to see the world. So if people are changing internally and realizing their own spirituality, there's no doubt things are going to change on the outside, because things are changing on the inside of people, and they're waking up to who they really are. They're waking up to their higher self, their highest potential, things like that. Now, moving forward to the current now. So we just did the past. Now moving into the future, which is, the present. So right now people are seeking love. They're seeking, now that we went through this like massive, you know, transformation of stuff in the past, which now what's manifesting is love on the planet and also material harvest. So I feel like we're going to be going into a more abundant timeline.
Oh yeah, more and more people are realizing they just dropped the corporate world and the 9-to-5 thing that doesn't serve them anymore, and they do what they love.
Exactly.
And you know, encourage others to do what they love, and then they have their own audiences, their own people, and everyone's happy and learning how to be more abundant and fruitful in their life and stuff. So, you know, for example, I've been to many of these little courses or whatever you want to call them, and they're like webinars. Webinars and stuff, and they're recruiting people that say, hey, you want to become more like me and financially successful and all that stuff, and liberated from having to go to like your corporate job or whatever, do what I did, you know, that kind of stuff. Just an example. More and more people, and I think we've been seeing it mainly since the whole COVID era of 2020, right? So more and more people are saying, what do I truly value, and what am I willing to do to achieve the dream that I came here to achieve? Like, what is your calling, and are you on the path? Are you on the path to your calling now, or do you need to shift something to get on that path now?
Get paid to be yourself. Basically.
Get paid to be yourself, your authentic self, like who you truly are, what your calling is.
Right. So from a Pluto Capricorn collective aspect, more and more people are going to be seeking the end result of their own material harvest, but they're going to be looking within, like, what can I do internally to change myself to match the frequency of my own material harvest? What can I do to be aligned and true to myself, in order, not just in order, of course, but the reward is, you know, get paid to do what you love. That's ultimately where people are currently at. They want to get paid to do what they love, not do what they hate. And then, and then also, they want to find real love, like balance. People are currently, you know, they went through this like massive dark night of the soul, and now they're moving into.
Well, I think they're still going through it. Some people are. Yeah. You know, it's how it is. Yeah. You know, I mean, some people are further along and other people are still a little ways behind, but it's okay because it's your own personal evolution.
Oh, yeah. But I think as a collective, though, I feel it in the air, is that everyone is, not everyone, but you know what I mean? The majority, I feel like, I understand that everyone pops like popcorn at different rates. But ultimately it's like, this is kind of a general read of the collective energy, right? So like collectively, we just came from a major transformation, people having to figure out like even like who to vote for, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't vote personally because we like to stay neutral, and we just realize like if you vote, you actually are choosing that karma. So we decided to pull out of that system because we're more, Adam and I and many others are more like the observers of everything. And so we choose not to participate in that. And people might say, oh, but you have, we fought so hard for women's rights. So, okay, fine. If you want to vote, great. But we choose to pull out of the dualistic left brain, right brain paradigm, the left, right paradigm, same bird kind of thing. We chose to pull out of that because we found that neutrality is the best way to be, to just simply observe what, the majorities are doing. I mean, we are just helping to bring up that higher timeline, hopefully, in that experience, right? But ultimately, that's our role here. So we're not meant to like get deep into the dualistic battle that's going on, because we're twin flames. We're meant to be one. We're in the we principle. We're not in the us versus them principle. We're not wanting to be in that principle. So ultimately, like, that's, in my opinion, that is where the majority should be anyway, is moving into that we principle anyway, right? And doing what we love, especially when it comes to the balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We don't need to have battles between men and women. We need to have unification, cooperation, respect, love, and so on and so on, right? Okay, so now moving into the future, the near future, when it comes to Pluto and transformation and the Capricorn energies, we're going to have some serious power here, okay? People are going to be moving into that figure eight, abundance, powerful frequency energies, like real here soon. And opportunity is beckoning. So we got the number 4 and we got the number 8. Now 4 is talking about foundations. It's talking about stability, opportunity. We are finally at a place where we can stabilize these energies. And look at that. That has a figure 8 within it. So this is the unity consciousness that we're talking about here. We're basically helping, not just helping, but we're experiencing as a collective the unification and the stabilization. Like Spirit told me the other day, the best thing we could do at this time is to be stable. And this is like a few months ago, be stable in an unstable world right now, because the world felt very stable a few months ago. And I'm sure that there's still a lot of crap going on right now that's still creating this instability. But the United States is playing a huge role in this. And if the United States is unstable, the rest of the world is unstable, because we have so much power in this country, in terms of like what we stand for, freedom. And a lot of starseeds are incarnated on the planet. I mean, of course, but in the United States especially, we have a lot of starseed friends and family here. So the United States is playing a huge leadership role into what's coming next. And that's why the collective is going to be stepping more into opportunity to stabilize themselves and their energies, and also connect with their eternal figure 8 energies, as well as reclaim their power back. And this is what it is. We need to reclaim our power back. We need to take our power back.
Take your power back.
Knuckle Bear, we love your song. Take your power back. If you don't know his music, look it up, because it's amazing. Take your power back. That's a song. So I almost feel like, right now we're kind of in a interesting space, but we're going to be moving into, as a collective, we're going to be moving into taking our power back, taking, the opportunities that come.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now into the super future. We got the number 10 card, which is about destiny.
Which is naturally the Wheel of Fortune in traditional tarot.
Yeah. Interesting. And then we got the number 4 card, heart chakra. So let's look into that.
Your heart determines your fortune. So focus on the higher timeline, the more positive outcome, if you want to have a more positive life. Basically, your emotions determine the actions, and the actions will determine your future.
Yes. I'm going to tune into the records about this one too. I have visions of, well, it was like 2 seconds ago when I said past tense had, but the vision I got was ETs, extraterrestrials, some kind of opening in the super future around more awareness around that. I mean, I know that people are talking about it now, but it's almost like, are we finally going to be having interactions? Like, are we going to have so much peace on Earth that finally our, galactic brothers and sisters are going to feel safe in order to start landing, in order to start communicating with us, things like that. I'm sure there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes that we don't know of, but the vision I did get was UFOs. And, now I see the UFO disclosure that's happening. I think Mr. T is also initiating that. He even said in a video that he wants to open all those files up. He says everyone has a right to know what's going on. So I feel like that's a big portion of opening that timeline up, bringing that awareness. Because I mean, how long are the governments going to hide from us that UFOs exist, or that the UFOs are part of, programs and stuff like that? You know what I mean? Like, how long are they going to hide this stuff from us? They can't forever. I mean, and I'm not talking about the ones that are in the know right now. I'm talking about the mass consciousness, the 80% or what have you, that don't know anything about this. Like, they're going to have to wake up. And when they wake up, I'm not going to say like they have to wake up. That's up to their own free will, right? But it's going to be in our face. That's what I'm being shown. It's going to be in everyone's face. And there's not going to be any denial about the reality of the fact that we have so much technology that is being used in the military. The government militaries that we have right now have at least 50 years ahead of time of technologies that we don't even have access to. The mass consciousness, right? The little people, let's just call us. So what I'm being shown from the higher, the records, is that this is going to be a huge turning point, I feel, in the super future. I want to say 2040s. Excuse me. Where there's going to be some serious openings around.
When Pluto enters Aquarius, there's going to be some serious changes there.
Yeah, just like a greater
technology in the future, and
just like a greater awareness, for sure.
Oh, for sure, yeah. Uranus is the natural planet. Saturn and Uranus, they both rule Aquarius. So in the sense, I would say Saturn will rule Aquarius for part of it, and then Uranus will rule Aquarius. Uranus is known as the awakener. So
yeah,
if you haven't gotten to be awake by the time Pluto leaves Capricorn, you will definitely be awake by the time Pluto goes into Aquarius and spends time there. So
totally.
We're basically in these waves of awakening. So when Pluto was in Sagittarius, some people woke up to the truth, the knowledge, the philosophy, the spirituality.
Wow.
During that transition. And now another set of people will wake up to this Pluto Capricorn transformation. And then another wave of people will wake up to the Pluto in Aquarius transformation.
And let me just say here, now that I'm analyzing the cards even more. So the Destiny card is number 10. 1 + 0 is 1. So it's a reset. Okay. And then it's a woman with, holding her heart chakra and beautiful golden light like a lotus coming out of her, and 6 versions of her. But if you add her in, it's number 7. So it's like a transformation of spirituality in our connection to the universe. It is our destiny to
ascend.
The ascension process is around there in that super future. And not to mention the heart chakra is basically people living in their heart and like getting out of their head and stop being materialistic, but connecting with their spirit inside of themselves, their soul, and living from the heart. I mean, this is what Drumbelow Melchizedek preaches about all the time, living from the heart. He wrote books on it. Like, we need to live from the heart. And this is a time in the super future that's coming where that's going to be foundational for us. That means that we're going to be like naturally all living in our heart. That's what Pluto in Capricorn, the transformation, is eventually going to lead us into resetting and living. Because right now, most of us are living from our mind. The dualistic, the brain is split in half, the left brain, right brain, the political systems left and right. It's like all this dualistic, but we need to get out of this dualistic mindset and drop into our heart chakras so that we can see the oneness of all things. That's what this is all about. And one is right there. Like, you can't make this up. Living in the heart is going to lead us in the future, super future, to live in the oneness.
Which is the unity consciousness.
This is our destiny. This is the timeline that we are on. This is what we're meant to do. This is the goal, ultimately, is to live in the heart.
And it will happen, because that's what happens when Pluto goes into each of these signs. There is a breaking down and a rebuilding process. It's a remodelization of whatever's going on in whatever sign that Pluto goes into.
Oh, wow. This is so exciting, guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I feel like we need to pull one more bonus card for everyone here. Let's see here from the angel deck here. And then we're probably going to head out here soon. Okay. So this is a message for all of you guys who are advocates, but also people who want to like represent something, right? You may be called upon to be a spokesperson for a cause close to your heart. Your angels will give you the perfect words and you'll do brilliantly. You may be asked to be a member or find one yourself. You may be asked to be a mentor or find one yourself. This situation involves someone who's professional with a positive attitude and fresh ideas. This person, who could be you, may be emotionally unavailable. Ultimately, this card is about, what are you on the planet to do? There might be something, right? Whatever, if you get fired up about something, whether it's like save the dolphins or save the whales or clean up our environment or, medical stuff, anti this or that, whatever it is that gets you fired up, most likely is your purpose. The thing that pisses you off the most is most likely your purpose on the planet. Something that you need to do with it to usher in this new earth. Maybe it's something that you're going to do to open up the future for the children, right? That very thing. Don't ever discount your value, okay? You have a purpose. Everyone has a purpose here. And it's not an ego thing. It's something that's close to your heart. It's something that's close to your soul. If you're hearing this message, you have a purpose. The question is, what is your purpose? What is it that you're meant to be doing? What is it meant to be looking like? And this card is telling you to confirm that you're meant to lead something or be a part of a cause that is close to your heart. And if you guys need any help with finding that out, come to us. We have the ability to look at your natal chart. Adam does. Mm-hmm. He can dissect your natal chart to the nth degree to figure out exactly why you're here. because your divine blueprint, your astrology chart is your divine blueprint. It has all the information, the cause. Just think of it like this. Before we came to incarnate, we made agreements with our council of light, with God, Great Spirit, what have you. And we made agreements to come to this planet to do something. And everyone has a unique purpose. Everyone has a unique thing. And it's not just a purpose thing. It's more about like all the lessons that you're meant to be learning, all the things that you're meant to be creating, things like that. And the astrology chart, as you know, every year goes by, I'm more and more, I'm never done reading my astrology. You can see, I'm always asking Adam, like, okay, can you explain this to me about my chart again? You know, it is so much information in a chart. It takes years sometimes to dissect. Okay. But Adam has this amazing ability to like give you that information and help you get more and more clarity. And eventually I feel like the vision here is that we're going to have a community of people online, and we're going to be helping you more with understanding your chart. But seriously, like if you can get your natal chart with Adam, like that is just the first stepping stone in the right direction. And of course, if you ever want it to go into your past lives and also have visions of like the future, that's where the Akashic Records can help you.
Yes, that's where Kat can come in and help you if there are any blockages or something, that maybe there's some kind of trauma that you're still holding on from past lives, or even in this life when you were a kid, right? So this trauma, you can release it and move forward. You can also find out what talents and skills that you've had from those lifetimes.
Yeah.
You can also find out what you know, your star brothers and sisters are and stuff like that. Like, where did you come from? Like, are you Lyran? Are you Sirian? Are you Arcturian? Are you Orion? Mm-hmm. There's many different, you know, places out there. But absolutely. I'm just naming off a few. Andromedan as well. Andromeda happens to be the higher self of the Milky Way galaxy. So, yeah. They know about love. They know about unconditional love, and they teach us. Like some Andromedans, they have met with people that are contactees, and they say, yeah, you know, they are figured out. They know what's going on.
So when I first started opening up to this, so in 2013, I was initiated into the Akashic Records. I started becoming an Akashic Record keeper in 2013, which is funny because I didn't know Adam, and he was being initiated into astrology. Yep. So that's how twin flames work. We're very strong mirrors for each other, and our purpose is to come together, right, and to bring the knowledge of the Akashic Records and the astrology. But when I started getting my Akashic downloads, I learned, I didn't even know about Lyran or starseeds, or I didn't really know about that stuff as much. But I did learn that I'm Lyran originally. That is like, I think, one of my first incarnations. And Adam also is Lyran originally. So, and then eventually I became Palladian. And I think Adam learned that he was Orion as well. Mm-hmm. So we bring this like galactic information, you know, and I don't want to sound like crazy here, but we've been told by a very high level psychic medium shaman that we're from the future. So Adam and I came back from the future.
About 5,000 years in the future.
Yeah. And that's probably why we have the abilities that we do, is to see things, because we've maybe lived through it already. I don't know, but you know, and I don't think time is linear either. I feel like timelines and past lives, like we kind of interject, thanks to Adam's mom, who helped us because she was very psychic. She helped us see that, you know, you have a timeline, but you can interject in that timeline in the future, and then you can go back, and then you can, you know, come back into the past. So we don't have to incarnate in a linear fashion. We can incarnate into whatever time frame we want to come into.
Well, it's just basically shifting the frequency, because the past, the present, and the future are simultaneously happening.
Correct.
Now. We only have the now moment. Time itself is an illusion. Death is an illusion. We're spirits having a human experience. So basically, we're able to tap into these past lives and these future lives because they're happening simultaneously.
Yeah. Anyway, I think that's probably a lot of information for today, huh? We could talk for hours about this stuff, but we do have to get ready for other things. But we love you guys, and we invite you to join us. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't commented, please let us know that you exist, that you're here with us. We love you. We'd love to have you on board with us, because we are going to be building some awesome things here, and we want you to be a
Go
part
ahead
of that.
and share a little love with us by hitting that like button. What's really cool is that if this resonates with you,
Yeah.
and you're thinking about people,
Yeah, share
it with them too, because I always liken it to a pie or a cake. Like, you just imagine you're having your favorite cake or your favorite pie, and you're just like, oh, it's so good. I want to share it with other people. But you really do. I mean, you want to eat it, but you also want to share it. So, because you want to share how good it is with others, right? And that's what we're saying. Share it with others.
Well, if you can help us live our purpose, and our purpose is to help usher the awakening of humanity. So if you can help us do that by sharing with others, we'd be so grateful for you to do that.
Most definitely.
And also, if you don't, that's okay. We're okay, because we have confidence and we have faith that our message is going to reach millions of people, and it's just a matter of time. We're not the kind of people that will beg for anything, right? We just want this awakening to happen so badly. Like, we know it's going to be amazing, and like, the future is there, but we also want to live in the present, right? We want to be present with everything in this moment. The present is where our power is.
Here's an example.
Yeah.
Back in the year 2016, I had a dream that drones, were delivering groceries. Yeah. And now here we are, 8 years later, 2024, drones are starting to deliver groceries and other things that are being shipped all over the world. Yeah. Like, you can't even make it up. Like, we're able to dream these things before they happen and share them with you guys. I mean, how wonderful is it?
Yeah.
And, more and more stuff will come for the collective as the collective responds.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a big thing, like, the collective has to
respond, be
ready for this kind of stuff. And I really, I don't know where all this is going, honestly, in terms of, like, we're just doing our thing, right? We do what we love. But ultimately, we ultimately want to, I feel like we ultimately want to bring some peace and calm, because I think a lot of people worry about the future. And I feel like I want to tell you that the future is bright, guys. Like, I used to fear the future. I think Adam can tell you that too. I'm like, yeah. But I've gotten to a point where I'm like, you know what? It's all going to be fine, because I've already seen it, and I know it's going to manifest. We made it, guys. Like, good work. High five to everyone.
Yeah, high five to everyone. Pat yourself on the back. You've done it. Yeah. The work's been done. The earth has already ascended. It's up to us to just catch up to it.
Exactly. We're part of, like, something so big, and it's so beautiful. And, like, I want you guys, I'm seeing visions of, like, mamas and dads who might be concerned about their children's future. I want to reaffirm to you that there's nothing to worry about. I'm seeing, like, your children have so much light in them.
Let them share knowledge with you, because more than likely they could be people from past lifetimes that have been talking to ascended masters and everything, and they have that master collective within them.
Yeah.
And they could be your own teachers as well. Like, if your child says, Mom, Dad, let's meditate. Let's do yoga. Embrace that. Don't think of it as something that's evil and it's against God's rules or whatever, and it's of the devil.
Right.
I mean, your child is innocent and coming from pure love. Why would they want to say anything that comes from the devil? Yoga is all about breathing and stretching. We breathe life. That's what we are. We are the breath of life. Like, yoga helps you understand how important it is to breathe, stretch, relax, and just let all that tension go.
Well, the thing is, like, you can't be a great manifester if you're living in the past, which causes depression.
Or in stress.
Or if you're living in the future, which can cause anxiety. So meditation and yoga, all it does is helps you to bring you to your
now moment.
To the now moment, to your present. Like, the present, the gift, the present, get it, is the now. So this whole, like, religious kind of mindset of, you know, evil and this and that, that's all made up crap. Honestly.
Because God is love and we are love. Yeah. We come from love. We are love. We return to love. There's only love.
Yeah.
Fear is the illusion. Love is the thing.
And if love is the key. And if you're living in love, if you're living in your highest quotient, in your light quotient, if you're living in a high frequency, guess what? Demons aren't attracted to you anyway, because you're not vibrating at their frequency. You're a higher frequency. They can't even see you at that point. Okay? You're beyond it. So if you're lowering yourself into fear, then you're going to see the demonic energies. But if you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you're going to see only love and light. Like, you know, that's just kind of like physics, in my opinion. Like, spiritual physics. It's common sense, and it's you know, it's logical. Like, yoga, meditation, eating clean food, being healthy, loving your neighbor, loving yourself, loving your family, friends, you know, being in the vibration of love.
Making your body whole again so it can start the regeneration and rejuvenation process.
Yeah.
Right? Because the body understands, the body responds. You can go within this meditation, right? And communicate with the body. You can talk to each one of your organs, the kidneys, the liver, the lungs, the heart, right? And what's on the outside is connected to the inside, right? Your outer extremities, your eyes, your nose, your ears, your mouth, your legs, your arms, your lungs, everything in the inside is connected to everything on the outside. As within, so without. As above, so below, right? It's all connected. We're all connected. We got the macrocosm, the cosmos, the universe, all of that. Then we got the microcosm, what's inside of us. So if you look at the neurological structure of a brain and you look at the universe, they look about the same. Like, the universe is within you. The galaxies are within you. Your spirit guides, your alien brethren and sisters, they're all within you. Like, you travel the galaxies inside.
So when we come,
you'll look for God inside. Like,
exactly.
The kingdom of God is within you. The way in is the way out, right?
Exactly.
So go within.
Go within.
Whenever you feel like something is not right in your life, go within. Find the inner peace.
So we come from love. We come from ultimate high frequency, vibrational, spiritual love. Then we go into light and sound. Then we go into geometry and patterns. And then we go into physicality and manifestation. If we're worshiping the physical things only, and the money and the greed and all the stuff and the ego stuff, we're losing sight of who we really are. So it's important to come out, like, be who you are in your body and your physicality, but also connect with the dimension of sacred geometry and patterns, and noticing patterns, and noticing that 444 number you saw, and noticing the 1111, you know, and that's when you're connecting with the frequency of patterns, which is like the blueprint and the imprints before the physicality. And then before that, when you connect to light and sound, like beautiful music, 432, you know, hertz music, versus what's the other one that's bad?
440, like, the distortion.
Like, stay away from 440 hertz music, because
that is not harmonic at all.
It's distortion music, and it's going to distort your energies. So connecting with 432, what's the other one? 5.
And just to give you guys an example,
528.
There was a cat, he was sitting right next to this lady, and she was like apprentice to Masaru Emoto, the guy with messages in the water, right? And she decided to play something at 440 hertz. The moment she did that cat just freaking got up and ran away.
He ran out of the room.
And I said to Cat, Cat, that's 440 hertz. That's distortion. And look at the fact that cat just got up and left.
Yeah.
That's distortion. The cat couldn't stay there. And I said, what frequency is that? She said 440. And I said, you shouldn't be playing 440. You should be playing 432.
Yeah.
We used to have some crystal bowls, and we used to play them all the time. Our cat, Merlin, he would sit right next to us because he knows the harmonic frequency of 432. It's a universal harmony.
Cats are very sensitive to this.
They are very sensitive.
I feel like I'm very sensitive too.
She's a cat. I'm a cat. We're all cats. Hey.
Really, Rams? But yeah, I mean, like,
for sure.
And so, like, connecting with the patterns, and then connecting with the light and the sound, and connecting with your highest self, like the pure form of who you really are. That's what meditation does. It helps you to raise your consciousness. Not your consciousness is already there, but connecting and
the awareness
of your consciousness and your higher consciousness, and becoming the witness, being in the witness position. So instead of getting pulled into the drama of physicality all the time, going into your witness position and looking down at yourself and realizing that it's all a freaking movie, right? That we're living in.
Thank you all for being here once again and taking this journey with us as we explore Pluto and Capricorn, going into the second house.
And all your amazing videos. Like,
oh, yes.
Your weekly videos. Thank you so much, Adam, for bringing this amazing astrological knowledge and wisdom and, just like juicy amazingness that is so important to know right now. Like, just so important.
And getting the confirmation from friends and family, how it's been helping them and how spot on it's been. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Especially to the ones that know who they are. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, all the people that are just like blown away by
That's what we love. We love those comments that say, you're doing good. Keep the good work up. This stuff is spot on. I can't even believe how accurate it is, but it is, that kind of situation. So,
wow.
Look forward to more of that. And also, each night I talk about the transits, what to expect the next day. So, tune into all of that and more, because that's what we're here for. The mystic guidance for all of you.
And I just felt guided to pull a card. And we're going to close after this for sure. But I'm going to let Adam read this because this card is so important right now. And I'm sure a lot of us need to hear this message.
So we got here the Two of Abundance, which is naturally the Two of Coins or Pentacles, however you want to call it. Mm-hmm. Life may be feeling a little bit out of balance right now. You could be working multiple jobs or trying to make a change to your dream career. It's important to keep things light and stay in touch with what? Your inner child. We can't stress that enough.
And right? I did an inner child meditation in case you're interested. It is linked to our inner child is linked to our abundance. But yeah, go ahead.
Most definitely. Make your work as playful as possible, right? Don't take work seriously. Don't take life seriously. We're all here to be fearless and play. So make your work as playful as possible. Multitasking with a positive attitude brings success. So what brings success? That positive mental attitude.
And if you have a hard time with play or inner child stuff, I would definitely recommend getting an animal, like a cat or a dog or a puppy or what have you. Anything to help your inner child to feel more comfortable in the world. Because I feel like all children love animals. And I know that when I see my cat, my inner child lights up and he wants to play. I want to play. Like, he keeps me in my inner child. And he's been a huge piece in helping me to reclaim my inner child, as well as Adam, of course. So, I just want to recommend that to anyone who needs to hear that right now is get an animal if you need that help. Because I know it's not easy. I think all of us have been traumatized from one level to the next in terms of, our inner child. We've definitely had a rough planet to live on. This is definitely one of the PhD planets in the universe. This is like hard lessons, right? But I feel like we're also supposed to come out of that. Even in the Bible, it talks about how we need to come back to becoming that child again. So definitely the inner child is a huge piece in not only reclaiming your abundance, your sovereignty, your truth, who you are, but also even your love life. I mean, honestly, it's all connected to love and your inner child, really, and your connection to your higher self and where we come from originally.
Now you want me to sing this song, or you make me want to sing this song. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And that, phrase, life is but a dream. So let life be the dream you want it to be, right? Not the nightmare, but the dream, because life is the dream. We're not meant to be living in misery and sorrow and anger and pain. We're meant to live in bliss and joy and happiness.
Yeah. And also, deep down, know that you are already thriving. If you're having a hard time in life right now, just know deep down, your connection to thriving is already there. It's in your inner child. Just think of it as like a window that you need to open up and look into. That universe exists inside of you, that thriving version of you. It's all about just that reconnection and connecting with who you really are. All the other stuff needs to fall away. Whatever it is that you feel like is not bringing you happiness needs to just fall away.
Yeah, I encourage all of you out there to just go within and talk with your inner child and let your inner child know that you're not going to abandon them, that you love them, and there's nothing they can do that's going to make you love them less or want them less.
Oh, that's a huge piece. I can go on and on. We're probably going to have to create a separate podcast.
Yeah, we will definitely have to create a separate podcast for the inner child work, just like we're going to create a separate podcast for any other things that come up.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because that's what we're here for, that mystic guidance.
All right, well, we love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward to next time. And be safe, and just keep visualizing what's coming, guys. It's beautiful, and there's nothing to worry about. Just keep living your blissful life, putting out that good energy, and doing what you feel is right for yourself and for your loved ones, and you're going to be okay. I know it.
Most definitely.
And if you would like a reading or anything, feel free to contact us. The information will be down below.
Yes.
Much love, everyone.
Much love, everyone.